Players rise and players fall with week 1 in the books. But before Sunday, quarterback and tight end rankings for week 2 of 2024 NFL season. Welcome to E&M Fantasy Football, where I combine industry-leading data, Vegas sportsbooks, and expert analysis to provide you with optimal weekly rankings for the utmost accuracy in setting your weekly lineups in your fantasy football league. I'm writing this on Thursday night for Friday's video. Expect more videos later every week for the other unit groupings like wide receivers and running back. We begin with quarterbacks for week 2, of course, full PPR with Josh Allen at number 1. Let's move quickly here and go Jalen Hurts at 2, Lamar Jackson at 3, Patrick Mahomes at 4, and Anthony Richardson to round out the top 5. Now circle back. Josh Allen, 247 passing and 40 rushing at Miami, 48 game total. Lock him in. Jalen Hurts, 241 passing, 40 rushing. Lamar Jackson, 218 passing, 50 rushing. We see what's going on here. Patrick Mahomes, 297 total. He doesn't have the rushing, but they have him for almost 300 yards. And then Anthony Richardson, only 208 passing, but he gets 48 rushing to boost. Sportsbooks tells us these top 5 guys are in the best position to go over 260 total yards in a full PPR fantasy football format. They are undisputed. We begin the next tier with the rest of the elite quarterbacks that have similar over-under projections but don't rush or have a tough matchup. Starting at 6, CJ Stroud. 270 passing for CJ against Chicago. They have a 45 total. No one's really surprised here. He could challenge Tua for the passing yards this season. He's a stud. Lock him in. He belongs at the beginning of this tier. Kyler Murray. 233 passing and 35 rushing. He faces the Rams. It's a really high total at 48. If you wanted to include Murray in the tier above or slide him above Richardson, I understand. I'm a tad low with him here. They have the 3rd highest scoring total of the week at 48, and they're at home. Jared Goff. 267 passing for Goff. It's the highest scoring game of the week, according to Vegas. Lions offense continues to be must-watch football. There's no concern. Jaden Daniels, 190 passing, 52 rushings for his projections. I'm a bit high on Daniels this week, but I put him at 9 as he's facing the Giants. It should be a positive game script. Maybe even a bit more of a slug match if Daniel Jones puts up any kind of fight. Dak Prescott, 270 total. He's one of the last of his kind. Dickie Dak at home versus Derek Carr. No one cares they blow out the Panthers. Cowboys are going to mollywop the Saints on Sunday. Tua. At 11, I think it's appropriate given his matchup. They're at home this Sunday and only underdogs by 2 points. It's a must-watch game as it's the 2nd highest scoring game of the week. Matt Stafford at 12. Another slugfest with the Cardinals at home. Vegas tells us there's going to be more scoring than defense, and that it should be a close game with a spread of only 1 point. It's going to be juicy. And for the last elite quarterback for week 2, ErvinandM.com. ErvinandM.com is my company my best friend and I started in 2020. We literally make everything ourselves by hand. We have earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, tie clips, apparel, and more. Over a dozen curated gemstones and 100 handcrafted products. If you need a gift or something special for yourself, use the promo code in the description, find something you love, and buy it today. Now back to the video. And for the last elite quarterback for week 2, Baker Mayfield. Baker finished week 1 at number 4 in passing, behind Mahomes and ahead of Jalen Hurts. But if that sounds crazy to you, He had more passing touchdowns than the top three above him combined at 4. Stop playing with Baker Mayfield. Round of applause. If I haven't got to your quarterback yet, unlucky. There's a significant drop off in production from here. These guys in the next are roughly slated for 230 yards each compared to the guys above, and they have low scoring totals for week 2. Big difference. 14, Brock Purdy. And we'll go back to back with the quarterback on the other side, Sam Darnold at 15. For Purdy, 237 passing. For Darnold at home, 242 passing. They start the tier with the best total of 45. However, if I was a betting man, I'd bet the Niners' game plan is to control the pace, run the ball. We'll see how it plays out. Joe Burrow is next. He's got a tough matchup here. They have to play in Arrowhead. They looked absolutely terrible week 1. Everyone says the Bengals' first 2 games are dog water and to throw them out. I don't know. I'm very skeptical. Justin Fields at 17. There's no line from Vegas here. Not a good sign. He faces Denver at home. I expect him to struggle, but everyone here is struggling. 18. Trevor Lawrence. 222 passing. They get Cleveland. This is terrible. Jags allowed 400 total yards of offense last week. I honestly feel like he's getting a bone thrown at him at 18. Caleb Williams. 217 passing at Houston. His debut was underwhelming to say the least. They're on the road here with an implied team total of 19 points. GL. Rodgers at 20. 224 passing at Tennessee. Believe it or not, the Jets are underdogs facing the Titans here. The total is one of the lowest of the week. I expect we'll get more air yards from Rodgers since the Titans' run D is pretty good, but they are upgrading their secondary. It looks bad. Feels bad. Is bad. From here, though, there is no amount of cope that will allow yourself to be fooled into thinking you're going to be okay. Sportsbooks have these quarterbacks from here at 220 passing yards for week 2. Geno, to start it off. 222 passing at Gillette Stadium. They're tied for the lowest scoring game of the week. The Seahawks are underdogs. Geno is below average. Probably be playing from behind. RIP. Daniel Jones, 206 passing, but 30 rushing. They're at Washington. It's a bit of a light here considering Washington's so bad and Jones added rushing, but he's terrible. I mean, I don't know. That's all I got. Kirk Cousins at 23. 227 passing at Philadelphia. This man could be one of those street performers that paints themselves gray and fools passerbyers into thinking he's an inanimate art installation. He is a statue. Dude is an absolute statue. He doesn't look 100%. I don't care what anyone says. RIP, GL. He's not healthy. Derek Carr at 24. 215 passing. He faces Dallas. In Dallas. Aside from launching a few Hail Marys to Rashid Shaheed, I don't think there's anything to see here. Dallas is going to dominate New Orleans. It is what it is. Sean Watson. 213 passing and 25 rushing. That's his line. They're at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, this should have been a gimme win. Watson couldn't figure out the Mike Zimmer disguised looks last week. He needs to make a statement where it is full-blown red alert. From here, these quarterbacks, they're under 200. For one reason or another, these guys are unstartable. RIP. At 27 and 28, we'll go back to back with Justin Herbert and Bryce Young. They face off in Carolina this week. 206 passing for Herbert, 190 passing for Young. Lowest scoring team total of the week. Disgusting game. Don't watch it. Don't start either QB. 29, Jacoby Brissett. 182 passing at home against the Seahawks. He threw for 120 yards last week. We know what's going to happen. He's going to snap the ball. He's going to hand it to Ramondre Stevenson. And last, and least, Bo Nix. 165 passing is his line from Vegas. He faces Pittsburgh at home. This has got to be the worst game of the week. We've already discussed it too much. That's your top 32 quarterbacks. Now let's do the tight ends. Starting off the rankings with Sam Laporta, Trey McBride, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Laporta is set for 52.5 receiving. McBride is set for 50.5 receiving. Kelce with 53.5 and Kittle at 49.5. These are the top 4 guys, all slated for over 50 yards or more. The next tier is for the rest of the elite tight ends, slated for 40 yards or more, according to Vegas. At 5, Dalton Kincaid. We know how Buffalo loves to utilize their tight ends in 12-team personnel. At 45.5 receiving, he's a no-brainer. Lock him in. At 6, Evan Ingram. 42.5 is his over-under. It's a bit scary after week 1. You know, he used to be the number 1 target for Trevor, but let's not panic too much. We'll give him another chance. Kyle Pitts. 39.5 over-under. I know I just said Cousins is horrific, and we just watched this man get targeted 3 times for 26 yards in week 1. It has got to get better, or he's going to join the guys in the bottom tier. It's his last chance. And for 8 and 9, let's go back-to-back with Andrews and Likely. I know we watched the same game, but we can't think or assume that this production is going to last with Likely. Vegas has 39.5 receiving for Andrews and 34.5 for Likely. This is a lot more realistic of an outlook. If we see a repeat, I guarantee you the next week's lines will shift dramatically, but I wouldn't bet on it. We start the last viable tier, and it's terrifying rest of the season since we're only at 10. With Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is slated for 34.5. It's not a bad line for the rookie. His team is terrible, though, but he can be a difference maker for this offense, and I hope he rises. This week, though, he faces Baltimore. Not good. Not good. Dallas Goedert is next. At 33.5, it could be worse. He's in a good offense. He got 5 targets for 31 yards last week. He should be good for it. Colby Parkinson. Honestly, if you wanted to scoot him to the front, I wouldn't mind at all. At 29.5, it's still a respectable line for Parkinson. He did well week 1. And there's no reason to think that he won't do well again week 2. Dalton Schultz. His ankle's hurt. We don't know if he's playing. There's no line, but he's in a really good offense that slings the ball. He's got a lot of potential, more than the others. The Muth, Pat Fryermuth. I don't know if Fields helps him or hurts him, but he's one of their best players. There's no line from Vegas. It isn't great, but I don't think it's an indictment on his talent, rather the quarterback play. Taysom Hill. Here we go again. This dude will forever be a wild card. There's really nobody else like him in the league, to be honest. He's impossible to predict. I don't know what to say. Hunter Henry with 28.5. Last time I checked, his name's not Ramondre Stevenson. It's a no for me, dog. And last in this tier, Tyler Conklin, 27.5. Good enough to get him at the end at 17 for week 2. But he's the last guy before the RIP tier. I stand by what I said last week. The Jets are okay, but he's last in the team in terms of talent. From here, aside from the guy in this last tier, I honestly don't have anything to say about the rest. They're ranked in terms of matchup and over-under, but after 18 with Juwan Johnson, it's a crapshoot. From there, it's downhill to 20 yards receiving or no line at all in a terrible matchup or with a terrible quarterback. So let me do these guys. Juwan Johnson, Zach Ertz, Cade Otton. Juwan slated for 26.5. Zach Ertz is slated for 23.5. Cade Otton slated for 22.5. Beyond that, they're ranked like I said. Fant, Komet, Okonkwo, who I don't even have a picture for. Kraft or Musgrave, I don't even have a picture. Jonnu Smith. Greg Dulcich is supposed to go on here. It's a disaster. It really is. Tight end is already devastated. It's atrocious. But that is your top 30 tight ends. I know. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I'll put your quarterbacks and tight ends back on the screen now. Take a moment to pause and reflect. I'm here for you down in the comments. I sincerely hope this helps everyone watching. Comment below what you think of this week's rankings. Are you scared? Are your tight ends just, you don't have any tight ends? Let me know. Thank you for your time, and if you want to support the channel so I can keep making videos like these, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can see all the videos each week before submitting your lineups. It's free, so it's a good value. And if you want to support me, check out my store at www.ervinandm.com. I have 2 passions, fantasy football and small business. We're a 2-man show at E&M. We take pride in the quality and craftsmanship of our products. There's no better way to support me than buying a gift or something special for yourself. Everything is handcrafted from limited stock by me and my partner. We make it ourselves, me and him. Ship anywhere in the US. Don't forget to use the promo code in the description. Thanks again if you're still with me. That's the video. See you in the comments and the next video.